Alright, so today we're going to talk about a really simple way to build a backswing. And um, one of the easiest ways to look at this is to look at the kind of above view or from the top, which is a view we don't get to see very often. We usually see face on and down the line camera views, but this top view can give us some really good perspective on what a really, what I would call a standard, or you could look at it as a model to look at, or just a very good backswing would look like. So there's a couple things. Number one, we've got the target line here drawn with the club, and you can imagine if there was a a line along the toes here as well, um, and you can use that as a reference, kind of a 90-degree perpendicular line to where the ball position would be. So from there, we're going to look at some body lines. We've got a couple here that are of utmost importance when we're looking at this top view. So we've got the hips. This is the bottom one here. This is the number that says 3.5. And then we've got shoulders here that say 1.5. So when we take these back, what we're going to do is go up towards the top of the swing and just see how these two are doing the most movement. So if we get to the top of the swing here, I think it's about 89.6 degrees with the shoulders. And then we strip down, we can take away all the lines and just put these two back in. So what we have now at the top of the swing is a shoulder line here that's almost, I think it, like we said, it was 89.6. So 89 degrees of turn from the shoulders. So an easy way to do this at home would be to set up to some sort of straight line with the toes, like I said, a perpendicular line to the ball position, and then simply put a club or an aim stick on the ground and put it exactly at 90 degrees to that let's call it the toe line. And what you want to do is get up to the top of the swing and roughly match that with shoulder turns. So if you're looking from above here, you can imagine this yellow line is it's being measured through the shoulders. And if that was matching a line or a stick that was on the ground, that would be a good way to do it. So that's the shoulder turn line. Now the hip turn line, if you want to look at it from the same reference point, is getting close to 40 degrees in this point. So you can see that this angle here created is almost a 45-degree angle between the shoulders and the hips. And if we go back to this here and pull that up, he's at 35 degrees of hip turn. So I would say this would be a minimum. This is a 7-iron. This is like a minimum here for some sort of elite swing or building a backswing. So I'd like to see a little bit more out of this for my average golfer here, 45 degrees. So let's take all these away again. So I'll go back to the two lines. And so you can imagine if we had this line a little bit more here, that would be okay. So for the feet then, for the hips, all we're going to do, instead of putting this 90-degree line here, we're going to put a 45-degree line and try to match that with the hips. So you may have seen these drills, but this is really a simple way to build a backswing. You can even put like an aim stick through your belt loops and try to get the aim stick that you put through your belt loops, let that represent this hip line and try to get it to match that 45 degrees that you put on the ground. And then you can also practice just holding a club or an aim stick along your chest and feel like you get that shoulder turn to match the 90-degree line on the ground. So just a very simple way to build a backswing. If we look at this from a different view, you'll see what it looks like. There's your 90 degrees of shoulder turn, and we can't quite see the hip turn very well from this angle, so we almost have to um, slide this around. Let's get this different view so we can pull it around here. So that's right in line with the shoulder, or excuse me, with the hips here, pretty close. So you can see that angle from where the target line is, that's almost 40 degrees. Like I said, 45 is a good measuring point. And then we can also just slide around and take a look at this from the different views, and even from below as well. So there's the hip turn line, there's the shoulder turn line. So this is where the target is going this way, and we could put that stick on the ground at this 45-degree angle, put a sticker on the ground at the 90-degree angle, and work on that hip and shoulder pattern in the backswing. So really easy way to build a backswing with your kind of the big pieces that we look at. And next video we can go a little bit more in depth on how the knees help this as well.